the remote, the Zooms are not working on the remote right now.
Of course. Hold on.
Live.
And a pleasant good afternoon on this Friday in July. It's the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championships presented by Osaka Hockey. The gold medal game today featuring the likes of Vancouver with a record of 3-0-1, and the white uniforms taking on Milan, also 3-0-1. Milan in the red, Vancouver in the white. Should be a fun one here in the U-18 gold medal match here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Hatfield, joined by the one and only Brent Underwood, reigning Patriot League Goalkeeper of the Year from American University. Brent, this should be a fun matchup with two teams that have been probably eyeing each other since the start of this event, knowing what they were capable of, and we're going to see some outstanding players put their skills on display.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. And this U18 group, all around, all of the teams that have been here have had loads of talent, skill, potential. So I think this is just going to be the culmination of all of that work throughout this weekend, really bringing it all together for this championship.
Let's tell you how they got here. Vancouver on Wednesday, edging Montreal 4-3, had a draw with Mexico City at 2 apiece on Thursday. Nudged by Lake Placid 2-1 yesterday, and then squeaked by St. Louis 3-2 earlier in the semifinals. We'll see St. Louis coming up in the bronze medal match against Paris, and Paris came up just short against Milan, and Milan getting here, and they're in the red unis as we're underway. Possession first belonging to Vancouver, but Milan prevailing over London 3-1 on Wednesday. A 1-1 draw with Athens yesterday, 3-2 slipping by Amsterdam before that 1-0 shutout of Paris earlier today here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. Another hot one, another humid day here in the month of July in Virginia Beach. But what's new, it's summertime, and we will try to dodge the threat of severe weather and storms and all that precipitation that we've seen in different doses throughout the week. But we will give you the lineup for each of these two teams, and we'll start things off first with Milan here. And again, we're watching right now Vancouver in the white uniforms with possession here to begin this matchup. But with Milan, they are coached by Anna Rogers, and we'll go in numerical order for them in terms of their standouts. You've got from Winnetka, Illinois, 2027 forward Kayla Chudger. She's from the Illinois State Champs New Trier High School. 114 is Olivia Puffpaff from Saline, Michigan. Anna Kosek from Prospect, Kentucky, 115. She's committed to Miami of Ohio. We'll talk more about her as we move it along. 116, Leilani Stewart from Columbia, Maryland, 29 goals this past year at Longreach High School. Anna Arnold from Bethesda, Maryland, wearing 117. She's committed to Northwestern. 118, Annie Lee from Bel Air, Texas, in the class of 2027, a midfielder and forward. 119, Isabella Blunda from Madison, New Jersey. 120, Ava Ewing from Chatham, New Jersey. 121, Hedley Coop from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. She's from the class of 2027. Another midfielder from the class of 2028 is Hannah Poncharoli. She's wearing 122 from St. Louis, Missouri. Shannon Bach, 123 from Darien, Connecticut. 124, Georgia Schmitz from Greenwich, Connecticut. Keep an eye on her, the midfielder from the class of 2026. Antonina Aponte, 125 from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, as we're going to see almost a chance there, but it's going to go the other direction, as they are right there threatening the goalkeeper. Kate Staley, 126 from Glen Elk, Maryland. 127, Amelia Blood from Uxbridge, Massachusetts, a Northeast Elite Club standout who's committed to Wake Forest. 128, Alexandra Agostini from Fairfield, New Jersey. And then your two keepers, 151 is Caitlin Moran from Essex Fells, New Jersey, from the class of 2027, and also from the class of 2027. It is Eliza Lewis from Louisville, Kentucky, out of Louisville Collegiate. And that is the lineup for Milan. We'll give you Vancouver's here in a moment. And again, our game is brought to you today by Osaka Hockey, as we watch in motion right now. Bren, Milan on the move here. Another chance that they were threatening moments ago as we were telling you the lineup for them. But Vancouver trying to keep them at bay here in the early going. First 5-6 minutes, is it really the filling out process for teams when you get to a gold medal, bronze medal match?
For sure, there's a lot of nerves that go into bringing a team to a gold medal game, even though these are brand new teams for these players. Stakes are a little bit lower. It's still, it brings a lot of joy to be in these types of games, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity. So, the first couple of minutes are, trying to bring that level of energy down, try to compose your team, get some solid shots on cage, and yeah, pretty much going from there.
We're going to get our first corner of the game, as it was an airborne opportunity, and then it's going to result in Milan getting that first corner here, and they're in the red unis. Our entire broadcast team today, consisting also of Kayla Hodge, our producer, engineer, Seenan Shannon on camera, Jack Lowe manning the ship for us, as well as Nick Senti, as they're helping bring you this broadcast today on Cova Sports TV and through USA Field Hockey, as the first corner is coming up here for Milan. And it's going to go back the other direction, as they didn't really get a good clean shot on goal against the two keepers for Vancouver. We'll give you the numerical roster rundown here for Vancouver in a second, but the two goalkeepers, Molly McGibney, 135 from Montpelier, Vermont, 2027 standout, and also from Pennsylvania, from Mechanicsburg, Olivia Schweigert, 136. They have two very, very capable, talented goalkeepers for Coach Caitlin Paquin of Vancouver. And their team, the rest of their squad, in numerical order, 113, Tess Hankins from Lafayette Hill, Pennsylvania. Shiloh Weinstein from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, is wearing 114, a forward from the class of 2028. Lily Oliver, 115 from St. Louis, Missouri, and a Harvard commit from the class of 2026. We'll talk about her, I'm sure, as our broadcast moves along. Camilla Lutt from Pennsylvania, 2028 Florida midfielder who starred with WC Eagles' program that won some championships earlier this summer. 117 is Elise Breen from Wilmette, Illinois. Breen, a Florida midfielder from the class of 2027. Sarah Annetsberger from Northbrook, Illinois, is 118 out of Glenbrook North High School, a forward who had 22 goals and 10 assists this past season. Jack Shaw from 119 out of Exton, Pennsylvania, a 2027 midfielder. 2027 midfielder in 120 is Caitlin Gorman from Montclair, New Jersey. Finley Katz, 121 from Englewood, Colorado, is a midfielder from the class of 2027. Also from the class of 2026, you have Anna Reister from Midlothian, Virginia, a Old Dominion commit out of Trinity Episcopal. Anna wearing 122. Kalia Uvito from Annandale, Virginia, wearing 123, a midfielder from the class of 2026. Caitlin Paul from Lansdale, Pennsylvania, wearing 124. Claire Clark from St. Louis, Michigan, 125. Elizabeth Wilson, 126 from Shaker Heights, Ohio, and midfielder and back from the class of 2027, and a back from the class of 2027 wearing 127 is Claire Turner from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. And rounding out the unit to go with those two keepers we mentioned in McGibney and Schweigert is 128 from Blue Bell, Pennsylvania, Nadia Gross from Springside Chestnut Hill Academy, a Columbia commit for Vancouver. So there you have it. That is the roster rundown for these two teams, and just a real bevy of talent for each squad here, Bren.
Yeah, what's great about these U-18s is, there's a good bunch of them that have already been committed to school, so it's nice to hear how their stories are continuing. after post high school. And a lot of these players, these classes of 2027, are actually, a lot of them are just starting their college recruitment journey, or at least, the part where they can actually verbally commit to a school. For those that haven't been a part of the commitment process yet, uh, high school athletes for field hockey are not allowed to verbally commit to a university until June 15th going into their junior year. So the class of 2027, this is the start of their window to be able to commit to a school for their college career.
And you'll see a smattering, if you follow social media, the various commitments across the country over the next 3 to 4 months. There might not be a ton everywhere, but there might be some, and depending on how the recruiting's going, if they really start to feel the love from a particular school and program. As we saw moments ago, Gross was on the move with it. We just highlighted her. It's going to Columbia for Vancouver in the white, 128, and Vancouver's got possession again now, as that's going to be stopped. Good job there defensively for Milan. Which again, coming in 3-0-1, 8 goals scored, 4 allowed for them. Twice as many goals allowed for Vancouver, 8 surrendered so far, 11 goals scored. So you could argue the case Milan's had a little bit better goalkeeping, although you never know the competition level some of these teams may see as they get through pool play and then the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really always say whether goals scored or goals against. These teams both played two completely different teams in their pools. So your goals scored and goals against don't necessarily mean one team might be better than the other. They had two very different levels of competition, both strong competition, but some of them might have been, challenges within the 23 meters, and some of them might have been within those circles. So some more goals, some more shots, some more strong defensive plays from their goalkeepers.
Came mighty close to getting that second corner awarded to Milan, who will race in with another player on the screen. It looks like that is Antonina Ponte, I believe, racing on for them, 125. So now back to work goes Vancouver, trying to get out of its own attacking 30. But here's a good shot off the move, and it's going to be scored. And put it on the board as Milan breaks the ice. A good job to put that one through. We'll see if we can stay with that young lady who scored that goal and tell you who exactly it was. With the mouth guard here running right at midfield past 114. We can see if we can stay with her. We'll try to get you that name here in a moment. But that was a nice job. And that was not super close to the net, Bryn. That was an excellent job for Milan to strike there. You could sense the pressure was mounting for Vancouver, and they're getting it to pay off with a goal here in this first quarter. Not even a full 10 minutes through.
Yeah, just a great shot across the cage looking for that far post. And that was just a reward from how strong and how high that initial press was, really forcing Vancouver to try and send that ball back and around. Not enough ball speed on it. Milan was able to take advantage, get the intercept, take it in, and for an immediate score.
So we'll see if we can wind it back and give you that goal score here for Milan, as they were able to strike first in this matchup. Coming at the 6:06 mark, we'll call it. Hard angle to tell again with those red unis and the dark numerals. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to catch who exactly had it. I'm wanting to say, Brent, it could be a 4 as that third numeral. It could be right here, 114 in Olivia Puffpoff. But right as that happens, another goal is scored as it's tied up quickly by Vancouver. They waste no time to get on the board to tie things up here with just around 4.5 minutes to go in our first period, as they're able to pay that one off. Outstanding job going off balanced and scoring that.
Yeah, just a great...
I think that was a Netzberger, by the way.
Oh, amazing. So Netzberger, just an excellent shot off of her back foot on that reverse. In a space of contention, it wasn't easy. Milan was really putting the pressure on that shot, but able to get it off, get it far post. Two really strong strikes from the top of the circle for both of these teams.
Indeed, it was 118. Sarah Netzberger scoring that goal to tie things up at 1-1 for Vancouver. We mentioned Glenbrook North High School forward who had 22 goals and 10 assists. So just like that, it's even Steven here 2 goals within a matter of not even 2 full minutes of each other, as they're able to pay that one off in a big, big way.
Yeah, and Nutzberger from Illinois, as we mentioned before, she's a Max Field Hockey Top 100 member, was also a part of the Illinois State Championship team with her high school, Glenbrook, back in 2023. Actually, she won that state championship against teammate right now, Eloise Breen, who plays for New Trier, was runner-ups for that championship game against Glenbrook. Eventually came back and won the championships this year for the state of Illinois. So some rivalry in Illinois for Eloise and Sarah. However, they both have to be on this team for Vancouver now.
Caitlin Gorman in Vancouver trying to navigate the sideline on the right near side, but it's going to be poked away by Milan effectively as we're down to 2.5 minutes in our first quarter. It's tied at 1 apiece in a entertaining gold medal match for U-18 here at the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. These two teams coming in without a blemish. Both have had 1 draw and 3 wins apiece. As right now in the white unis, Vancouver trying to add to the momentum they gained with that goal from Netzberger at the 4:30 mark of our first quarter. And that time on the move, running into a player, was Gorman. She'll toss it up ahead to Shiloh Weinstein. Weinstein coming forward and so going to the turf and making it happen for the goal. Weinstein puts it through with 1:50 left in our first frame. And just like that, Bren, it's a 2-1 lead for Vancouver, which trailed at 1-0, not even 9 minutes in.
You know, for a game that kind of started off with a bit more possession play within the 23, it really picked up at the end of this quarter with 3 great goals. I mean, we just saw Gorman with that great run down the middle of the field, was able to pass the ball off to Shiloh Weinstein, who made an excellent baseline run, pulled the ball just enough off the baseline to get that reverse shot into the back of the cage. Hey, a lot of talent in her side of the family, too. Her twin sister, Irie, is actually going to be playing in the bronze medal game just after this one. So hopefully she has the same luck as her sister does right now.
I love the fact her teammates go and gather her, but she was going to the turf and able to score impressively here. Coming up at the end of our quarter, you'll hear from some of the partners that help bring you our broadcast on Kova Sports TV. You're watching the U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey. And again, hit the like button, the share button, and subscribe button on our YouTube channel with Kova Sports TV. And also make sure you bookmark on your phone or your tablet or your computer, whatever device you're using, at usafieldhockey.com. You can go to /Nexus for more about the junior and senior Nexus events and everything that they've got going on with this tournament presented by Osaka, and also links to the Turning Machine app, which tells you about the schedule and scores for all of the teams in all the various age divisions participating here at the training center this week. As already we've crowned a couple of champions. The U-14 title was won by Athens, and the U-16 championship won just 3 days ago by Paris. The U-21 title coming up this Sunday. 1 quarter in the books. It's Vancouver doubling up Milan 2-1 here in the regional at the Regional Training Center in the U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey. We'll take a timeout and come back with second quarter action right here on Kova Sports TV.
From credentials to luggage tags, even time standards tags for competitive swimmers, Bag Tags creates durable and distinct functional sporting events tags that are not only used as a security measure, but are also treasured keepsakes, marking special moments and milestones in an athlete's competitive career. Bag Tag services some of the most notable sporting events across the country. Fully customizable, totally unique, and made in the USA. Visit bagtagsinc.com today.
Grow the game.
Grow the game.
Grow the game.
Grow the game!
Grow the game.
Grow the game. Grow the game.
Grow the game.
And we're back here. It's the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey, the gold medal match, which features Vancouver and Milan. It's a 2-1 lead for Vancouver on top of Milan. Alongside Bryn Underwood, I'm Matthew Hatfield, as we saw 3 goals scored, Bryn, in the last 6:06 of the first quarter. And it was shaping up to be one of those tug-of-war power struggles like we saw in the U-16 division in the gold or bronze medal matches. But then the scoring came through in a big way for both squads, especially the momentum here that Vancouver takes into the second quarter.
Yeah, just in those last 5 minutes of the first quarter, we just really saw a huge effort on both ends of the field. It took a couple minutes for us to get there, but once Milan opened up with the scoring, it just, as you said, exploded from that point. Saw a couple more goals from Vancouver, 2 unanswered. We'll see how both of these teams sort of adjust to that speed of play. I think both of these coaches, going into the quarter break, is going to be talking about, all right, we are creating opportunities on goal. How do we now enforce our defense to start limiting the other team?
And here's Vancouver on the move, trying to make something happen here as we're almost a minute through this second quarter, but Milan's going to get possession back as that transition opportunity ran out of steam. One of our partners for today's game is Gatorade. Stay hydrated with Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel, as the athletes are making sure they get plenty of that on this hot and humid Friday in July. Milan trying to escape the double team, effectively applied there by Vancouver. Coach Paquin's team coming in at 3-0-1. The one draw for Vancouver in this event coming in the 2-2 game on Thursday against Mexico City. Don't forget, we have the bronze medal match after this one is done with St. Louis and Paris, both at 2-1-1 so far. And working that far sideline now as Milan's trying to get some daylight to work with. But again, Vancouver stepping through there to make a play happen. Now they're trying to get away from that far sideline area, see if they can get it to, as you see on the near part of our screen, 118 down there, Netzberger, who scored the first of 2 goals for them. The second goal scored by Shiloh Weinstein. And now trying to get attacked near the cage, and that one's going to be deflected out of play with just under 13 minutes to go in our first half.
Yeah, looks like in goal now for Milan is Katie Moran. Excellent goalkeeper in her right, is a member of the U-16 junior national team, was also a state champion in New Jersey for her section. New Jersey has about 5 different sections, so she won her state championship with West Essex High School, and she's also a Maxfield Hockey Top 50 member.
That's fantastic. If you're going to get to the championship, the gold medal match, or even the bronze medal match, you better have outstanding goalkeeping, and these two teams do. We talked a little bit about Milan's 2 keepers and what they bring to the table, specifically Molly McGibney, who is part of D1 Vermont State Championship run, 93% save rate, and Olivia Schweigert, who's committed to Shippensburg University. That for Vancouver, I should say. Milan, you mentioned Moran. And then the other goalkeeper from the class of 2027 out of Louisville, Kentucky, is Eliza Lewis, who's got a 4.0 GPA, Louisville Collegiate. So you have 2 good options. It's not like sometimes, you know this, in hockey or field hockey, you get stuck in a game, you got a goalkeeper who's struggling, you can be out of the game quickly. But I think the way these 2 teams have scored early on, and though it is 2-1, and it could certainly shape it to be a 4 or 5 goal game for either squad, but they've got to feel like they have the capabilities, any of these 4 goalkeepers, to shut the other one out the rest of the way, right?
Yeah, these goalkeepers, just a lot of strength. You have to have someone in the back line who's able to not only hold the fort down defensively, but also, as we said, with communication. Your goalkeeper is your quarterback for your team. They have to be able to communicate to your defense, who then built up all the way up to your forwards. That starts with the goalkeeper. And if you don't have a goalkeeper who's going to be able to talk on your back line, then you don't have really the brain of your operation in order to create a moving unit that is a strong field hockey team.
So here it is now with Vancouver going airborne, the far sideline working. And again, play halted for a second. Now they'll restart here with A chance with just under 11 minutes to go in our first half. Milan scored that one goal. They had the penalty corner as well, but they've yet to draw another penalty corner. They've come close on a couple of occasions here, working the far sideline. Trying to get it through, but again, defensively, Manny is nice. If we can work it the other way and reverse it towards where 123 is set up. That's Shannon Bach right there in the middle of your screen. They've been really working into some congested areas right now. And with that traffic, it's working and playing right into Vancouver's hands a little bit. Having a harder time reversing it back towards the near side of the field. And Vancouver's taking advantage.
For sure. And just a wonderful defensive effort there from Claire Turner, number 127. Did a great job of stealing the ball off of that Milan player's stick, and then carry the ball with protection across her baseline and out of the circle to then outlet it out to her other players to then try and get it out of the circle.
One of the pluses, though, for Milan right now is they're getting better field position, which they had in the early going of this game. And there's a couple of shots right towards the keeper, having to dive to save it twice. And here comes a corner now. And keeping it at this end, the attacking third, it's going to allow them to possibly draw more corners and get shots on goal, as they had a couple right there. And having to dive was, you saw Schweigert there on multiple occasions.
Yeah, Schweigert, really great patience in front of the cage. That ball was really close to her on her baseline. Did a great job of holding strong, trying to clear the ball into space. Unfortunately, it just ended up one of her saves ended up hitting her defender's foot, going for this penalty corner opportunity now.
So we saw 3 goals scored in a span of 4 minutes and 16 seconds in the first period. Well, we get our first of the second quarter. Another nice job there as getting in the way for Vancouver. That was the Netzberger, it looks like. If she didn't get in the way there, that could have been potentially 2-2 as a game. Here comes the second corner. Little dump off to the right. And off the deflection, it goes through, and the goal is scored. And we're tied up at 2 apiece as Milan makes it happen off the penalty corner with about 8:05 to go in the second.
Yeah, just a great finish. Great eyes from the inserter to be ready on that post for when that ball popped up. It was going wide. She was able to tap it back down. Great execution from them on that heads-up play.
It looked like it might have been even towards the one that inserted it there, Bern. I couldn't quite tell.
Oh, yes. Inserter was able to tip that ball.
Tap it in. Yeah, so we'll find out who that number is that was the one that inserted it.
Olivia, just cut to that ball. That's all that is, okay? Yep. Here we go. Come on, Adley. Yes. Support her.
We'll keep an eye on.
Keep it on your stick.
Got the orange shoes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But Milan's thinking about goal number 3. And that one just got stopped by the right foot of Schweigert. Otherwise, it would have been 3-2 Milan.
Yeah, Schweigert, great clear, sending the ball out wide to her zone 3. The Shippensburg commit, so great to be able to see. A lot of times for these Nexus championships, you see these players committing to Division I universities. But Shippensburg, an excellent Division II school, member of the PSAC conference, which is arguably the strongest conference in Division II. That team actually making it to the NCAA Division II championships and winning in 2021. So she's going to a well-established program. Their previous head coach, Tara Zollinger, just left that program to go be the head coach at Delaware. So they will be led by a new head coach this season, but still a great foundation of a team nevertheless.
Tied at 2 apiece with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half, as it was the first goal scored by Milan with 6:06 to go in the opening period. Then Sarah Netzberger and Shiloh Weinstein giving Vancouver the lead before the latest goal coming off the penalty corner tap in from the group in red for Milan. And now on the other sideline as Milan's going to pull it out with Shannon Bach. We mentioned her a few moments ago. She was open with some space to operate around midfield. A couple of deflections as Vancouver's coming up with Annette Sperger and Tess Hankins trying to create and make something happen. Sun's starting to shine out again here on this muggy Friday afternoon in Virginia Beach. Couldn't make the pass that time to Kayla Schuckler. There's a jet and fly over top of us here. I don't think we've shouted them out yet, but also want to shout out our friends with the Norfolk Airport teaming up with us here. And also a chance to tell you about Portco, our local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. They focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact them and learn more at portco.org. Here's sideline now for Vancouver. Claire Clark trying to get some room to wiggle free, but couldn't do so. And then Milan's pass is going to be intercepted there by Nadia Gross. Gross has been all over the field here, Brennan. She has been one of the playmakers that has caught my eye throughout this first half.
Yeah, Nadia Gross, just a lot of speed. It kind of makes sense considering she also runs track in the spring. She is a miler, so you need that mid-distance speed to be able to get around the track 4 times, and obviously she's using it to get up and down the field for this game.
Had someone breaking away, but just couldn't maintain ball control on that. But a corner's coming for Milan again. It's their 3rd of the period and 4th of the half as they now have an opportunity to break this 2-all tie with just under 3.5 minutes to go in our second frame. What's working right for them to really get all these corners and put Vancouver on its heels after they had grabbed the lead 2-1 before the first quarter expired?
You know what? I think it was just a matter of circumstance in the situation. I think both teams are playing with a lot of intensity, but there hasn't been a lot of possession within this second quarter. So
we have someone else that's going to insert it here. Are you surprised by us at all after having the goal the last time that changed up who your entry?
Well, you know what? She might have been subbed already, but this looks like Leilani Stewart, who's going to be taking the insert for Milan. Very capable player in her own right. She plays for Alpha Field Hockey Club, plays also for Long Reach High School. Also is an excellent instrumentalist. She plays the bass clarinet.
How about that?
Yeah, and if you've ever heard a bass clarinet, it is a wonderful, low-sounding instrument. It's one of my favorite instruments to listen to.
And that one bouncing off the post. Didn't really threaten the keeper and Caitlin Moran for Milan.
Actually, looks like Moran might have sent that ball over the end line, which is why we have a free hit coming in for Vancouver in this situation. Which is quite smart from her to do in that situation. As a goalkeeper, you would rather send that ball in a low angle and potentially over the baseline of your own defensive end than send the ball straight back to the middle where you're potentially getting a rebound opportunity for a higher quality shot that you honestly don't want to be trying to make the save on.
Claire Clark with the feed, and then trying to get closer was Camilla Lutt. Camilla Lutt, one that stood out with WC Eagles during their trio of club championships here recently at the training center, dominating all age divisions for numerous years now.
They sure have, and we mentioned in a previous live stream that WC Eagles has won consecutive U14, U16, and U19 club championships since 2017, in which the U19 WC Eagles team lost to Spooky Nook in, I believe it was a penalty shootout. But no other team since Spooky Nook, which isn't even a club team anymore. That's how long ago it's been. No one since them has ever dethroned them for a national club championship title.
And you say Spooky Nook, I think of the facility up there in the Northeast up there.
Yes.
In Pennsylvania, they have a lot of different events. And AAU basketball, among other things that take place there over the summertime.
Of course, and the former iteration of this tournament, Nexus was previously known as Futures. Those tournaments used to take place at Spooky Nook, which was the original hosting site for USA, like the national team.
Sure.
However, they have a wonderful site now in Charlotte, North Carolina. Brought to you by the University of North Carolina, Charlotte's campus, which is so wonderful if you ever get the chance to go visit for anyone watching.
Bach headed over to Leilani Stewart moments ago, but now Vancouver's got possession back here as we're down to the last couple of seconds, and the horn will sound. We reached halftime. It's 2-all in this gold medal match for U-18 in the 2025 Nexus Championships presented by Osaka Hockey. Who's going to capture the gold? Well, we've got one more half to decide it. Keep it tuned to USA Field Hockey action on Cove Sports TV.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Same is lame. Field hockey players have stick. They've got vibe. They've got that tuning fork in their hearts that goes off when a ball thumps the backboard of a goal. Field hockey is for the mold breakers, the convention challengers, the trailblazers. People who think outside the box and come alive inside the circle. Sure, there will always be those who mindlessly take the road more traveled, think the same, do the same, play the same. Field hockey players know that the strength of the pack is the wolf, and that the strength of the wolf is the pack. We know we're different, and we're proud of it. It's how we stand out. It's how we fit in. Like eagles, we soar individually, yet value family and togetherness highly. Join us. We're the minority of millions that get it. There's a stick waiting to be picked up, lifelong friendships to be made, goals to be a part of, victories, defeats, draws, and more. Stories to be told, with you, by you, of you. There's a field hockey team waiting to be called yours. Game on. Dare to differ.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you'll ever see.
And as you can see, me and you are both having trouble starting to talk.
Yep.
I mean, this is something that you're breathing in every day.
Yeah. Like 50% of the air in the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is coming from down here.
Yes, sir.
How's your crawl space looking? You say we're going to be here a while.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get busy.
Get a free and honest inspection with JES Foundation Repair, a Groundworks company.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
And we're back here. It's the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey, the gold medal match, which has Vancouver working with the white uniforms and Milan in the red jerseys knotted up at 2 apiece. Alongside Brent Underwood, Matt Hatfield here with you as the game's first goal was scored by Milan's Anna Arnold, the Bethesda, Maryland product out of St. John's College, committed to Northwestern, was able to score it with about 6:06 to go in the opening frame. But that was the first of not one, not two, 3 goals, Bryn, that we had in a span of 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Sarah Netzberger answered for Vancouver. And then another goal was scored by Shiloh Weinstein. However, in the second period, it was knotted up thanks to the one and only Alex Agostini scoring it for Milan. And here we are, 2-2 to begin this third quarter, where it truly is anybody's game and can go either way. And it could require a shootout situation that we saw in the bronze medal game for U-16 on Tuesday.
For sure. Hey, and you know me, I love myself a shootout. So if this score stays the same just for me to be able to commentate for a shootout, I would be a very happy camper. But some great goals that we've seen throughout these first 2 quarters, throughout the first half, of course. Alex Agostini, actually teammates in high school with fellow goalkeeper Katie Moran on her team. So teammates in high school, teammates in club, teammates here for Team Milan. Member of that West Essex State Championship team, and she's a Max Field Hockey Top 100 member. And Anna Arnold, as we said, the Northwestern commit, head coach for Northwestern, Tracy Fuchs, who is here doing some evaluations, will be very happy to have seen her finishing skills on that goal. She's also a member of the U-18 junior national team and is a Max Field Hockey Top 50 member.
So there you have it, as it's been a pretty entertaining game thus far. Almost a minute gone by in this third quarter. That one is passed up ahead and gets away from the intended target. Now here on the move, going from left to right, is Milan. And Milan trying to get close to the net for an opportunity. Don't forget our bronze medal match coming up with St. Louis and Paris, both at 2-1-1 overall. They will be squaring off after this one is done. And again, our game are brought to you today by Osaka. Also want to shout out while we have a moment, another one of our proud supporters, and that is Town Bank, where you'll find experienced bankers who are available, reachable, accessible, and have your best financial interests at heart on or off the field. Serving others, enriching lives is what they do. Call or visit townbank.com and find your banker, member FDIC. Both these teams at 3-0-1, and here's the side in now for Milan in the red. Going to be intercepted, though, as we watch Vancouver on the move trying to create an opportunity. That one gets away from the intended target. Milan, though, seeming to keep a lot of the possession time on this side of the 50 here in the early portion of this third period.
Can you hear me? Yeah, on the phone.
But we shall see if that will remain the case.
Where you move back and forth panning.
As we've seen the penalty corners so far, Bren, controlled by Milan. Can Vancouver win this game without getting corners? Certainly teams have done it before, but it could be a hard task if they have to go the whole way without getting one.
Yeah, there are definitely times where teams have won games without earning any penalty corners. However, what penalty corners are, besides just a scoring opportunity, but it's also a morale booster for the team. Being able to earn those chances to have a shot on goal really brings confidence to a team to be able to set themselves up to keep momentum going down the field into the opposition circle to get those chances on goal, of course.
Under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Still knotted up at 2 apiece with Vancouver and Milan here in this gold medal match. Again, you want to stay up to date on what's happening with USA Field Hockey's Junior Nexus Championships presented by Osaka. USAFieldHockey.com is the place for you, and also the Turning Machine app at your fingertips gives you a chance to see the schedule right there that it's taking place. And again, we have other age divisions coming up. The championships for the U21 concluding on Sunday. What's the biggest differences you find U21, U18, U16, U14, Brent, as we watch this matchup here near the 11-minute mark of our third period? What's the biggest differences that you see from one age group to the next?
You know, of course, there's those obvious differences. These kids are stronger. The older age groups are faster. They might have some more defined, more, specific skills that they are comfortable with. But I'd say the biggest difference and probably the most prominent would be the ability to play the ball with game sense and intelligence. Not saying obviously these young kids don't have intelligence, but you're working on the basics with them still. Being able to pass the ball into space, being able to get to the right places in the circle to shoot on goal. Whereas these field players, you're trying to play the ball on the move. You're working on once I pass, then I'm recutting to a new space. I'm talking about pre-scanning, being able to see where I'm going to pass before I go. So a lot of those higher level skills that honestly are more when you're not holding the ball than when you are, is what these age groups do better. There's just a higher level of game sense, a better awareness of what's going on around the field, and overall just stronger unit mentality and unit gameplay for these teams instead of just the individual skill.
Couple of good looks there near the near post side for Vancouver, but Milan's able to boot them away as both teams have a host of substitutions getting ready to race in. I think, in fact, one of them being Claire Clark, it looks like, for Vancouver coming in as they're bringing in a number of lineup changes here in this third frame with just over 9.5 minutes to go, still knotted up at 2 apiece. Pretty cloudy and muggy day here from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach on this Friday, trying to keep the threat of rain away because we have a bronze medal match coming up with St. Louis and Paris after this one is done. Both of those teams at 2-1-1. Paris won the U-16 championship while it was Athens winning the U-14 championship. And we've talked about a little bit here as we watch again the action from the far sideline trying to get an opportunity. It's going to be booted away. But for these teams, number of players trying to get themselves on the radar in addition to the ones that are committed, like the Anna Arnold who's going to Northwestern, the Amelia Blood who's going to Wake Forest from Milan, the Anna Reeser from Midlothian and Trinity Episcopal committed to Old Dominion for Vancouver. This is an opportunity for some players that aren't as recognized or known, established, if you will, to make a mark and continue their ascension, if you will.
Yeah, of course. A lot of these commitments are coming from the classes of 2026 who've already had a year of true recruitment under their belts. There are a couple, of course, 2027s that have committed already. Looking at our list here, Tess Hankins is committed to Cornell, number 113 for Vancouver. However, there's not going to be nearly as many 2027s that have committed yet, considering it's only been a little over a month since these players have been allowed to commit to these schools. And I think it's also important for these players that you don't have to commit yet. It's only been a month. You have plenty of time to still look for a school that's the best for you, especially for these players who want to look Division I. There's sometimes this pressure to have to go Division I and have to commit to Division I early. But we're actually seeing now is a lot of players are recommitting. They're decommitting their senior years, realizing that they might want to go to a different university and decommitting and committing to a new school. So it's really important for these players to stay patient, look for the school that's best for them. If they have what these schools want, the schools are going to wait for them to make their final decisions. So don't stress out. Take your time. Find what's best for you.
Good battle moments ago there from Vancouver's Nadia Gross and Hannah Ponceroli for Milan as they were trying to get possession for their team on the move. But again here, trying to get in the attacking third, we see Milan, which has had all these penalty corners in this game. They were able to score off one of them. Vancouver still shut out in that department thus far, as it is currently Milan with possession. Another slap right there by number 120. That's Ava Ewing trying to get into the shooter's circle, but back comes Vancouver on the move.
Yeah, Hannah Ponceroli, a name that we have not mentioned yet. She's actually a class of 2028, so she, as a part of that younger age group, isn't able to be recruited yet. She goes to Villa Duquesne High School as a member of Gateway Field Hockey Club. Actually, with Villa Duquesne this past year, she was a member of that state championship team. She actually scored the only goal in that game for Villa Duquesne to win 1-0 for the Missouri State Championships. So obviously a finisher and knows how to finish when the team needs her to. So hopefully that will be something that she'll be able to apply to this game. Of course, with this 2-2 tie still for Milan and Vancouver.
Nadia Gross there had another chance for a second, but Milan able to come up with possession. And Vancouver looking to get back in the other direction. Again, Vancouver, we talked about it a little bit in the second period, Brent. They were kind of moving into some congested area. If they just get a couple of nice reverse feeds, and it's easier said than done for me to sit here and tell you that's what they got to do, and actually executing is one thing, but I think it's going to give them a great chance to get on the board here, as that one's going to be shot. Another opportunity, it looks like that was Gross that had a good look at it. But Milan really got off to the nice start thanks to Anna Arnold. And here we are with, it's going to be a free hit coming up. And here we are with Vancouver with possession now. Dumped off over to Jack Shaw in the shooter's circle, trying to work their way closer to the net along the baseline area. Again, deflected out. Another good job there. You've highlighted her a couple times in this one, Bren. We watched Leilani Stewart come through, second in her county with 29 goals last season, to go with 15 assists for a total of 73 points. She's established herself as one of the best at Long Reach High School. Oh, that one almost was able to score it through there and nearly tapped in at the last second by Weinstein, who was so close to it.
Yeah, Weinstein doing a great job looking for that second goal of the game. Great coverage by Eliza Lewis to be in that space just in case Weinstein got that touch. Also want to really give her credit for that first ball that came down the baseline where it got caught just right underneath her pads. She was able to stay patient, make sure the ball was in front of her, and really clear it out into a space that was not dangerous for another shooting opportunity.
And Lewis is seeing the ball get close to her on a few different occasions here in the middle part of this third quarter, as we're under 4 minutes to go in the third frame. Back on the move is Milan.
And that's Anna Arnold, as we already mentioned, one of the goal scorers for Milan, being able to get the ball just down the field, send it with speed, send it with pace, get it to the opposite end line in order to create just a new space for this team to play in. Milan did a great job of countering on a really high press that they had earlier in the first half. So looking for that sort of chance again for them by sending the ball all the way down the field once they had possession in their defensive end.
Turner up ahead now on the move. It's Reeser. Reeser tries to toss it to Camilla Lutt. Downhill and on the move. Oh, a shot that scored for a goal, and the tie has been broken. Outstanding goal there as Vancouver takes a 3-2 lead and pushing it through. Put it on the board for Tess Hankins, and Vancouver goes in front, courtesy of Tess Hankins's off-balance shot.
Yeah, what a great goal from her there, being able to take the ball into open space in the circle and just rip a shot. Looks like Eliza Lewis was a little bit deep in her goal cage. That's a hard place to be able to try and cover as much goal as you can. However, just the speed and the pace of the ball, I don't think Eliza Lewis could have been any more set for that shot. It just blazed right past her.
And it was all started with the movement from Reeser. And then you watch it again here, Brenda. He had a chance, and it just going off balance to the near post side and just punched it through right past Lewis. Excellent job there for Hankins and Vancouver, going in front 3-2.
Yeah.
With just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and you know those reverse hits, to anyone who hasn't been super used to field hockey, does look unbalanced to anyone who's never tried a reverse hit. But honestly, it takes a lot of balance to be able to get a hit off with that much power and that much speed. So for that time that shot is hit, that player is as balanced as they could possibly be in that situation in order to get that much power on it.
Milan trying to get a crossover maneuver. They lose possession, and here comes Vancouver trying to get on the other side of the 50 yet again, and here they do just that. But a good job defensively to step through and take it from Lily Oliver. That is Isabella Blunda, I believe, making that happen, as Blunda stepping forward and creating a chance for her team.
Yeah, Belinda doing a really good job of possessing the ball. Once she got that tackle, taking it with speed, forcing Lily Oliver to come in with a pretty hard tackle. As you heard that warning whistle from the official, just a little bit harder. Not giving a card or anything, but saying, hey, this is a warning. If there's another play that sort of has that physicality, they might give a penalty card in that situation.
Trying to get it off the carom there with just under 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Annie Lee stepping up as well. And you see just the extra attention here from Milan here, sensing the moment. They want to get that equalizing goal. You see from Robert Rojas cheering on Annie Lee.
Yeah, and we welcome any sort of that encouragement or comments from the people in this live stream. Love hearing from the fans who are eagerly watching their family members, friends play on the live stream. I think it's that community that field hockey builds. That's what makes this sport so powerful. It's small, but it's tight-knit.
And a big thanks to Nick and Jack out there for helping us troubleshoot some of our technical difficulties. 3 quarters in the books. It's a 3-2 lead for Vancouver on top of Milan. One more period to go to decide who takes the gold medal in the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey. Now a word from some of our partners here on Cova Sports TV.
What does happiness mean to you?
Being in the ocean with you, watching you catch super fun waves.
In Virginia Beach, happiness is breaking barriers and savoring the sunshine.
I couldn't pick a better place or a better person to be with. This is what makes me happy.
Happiness is going all out.
And taking it all in.
Here, happiness is whatever you make it. Find yours in Virginia Beach.
A history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat.
We've identified the problem. What is the solution?
A drink scientifically designed to hydrate better than water, so they could sweat more, win more, and change the game forever.
Boom, 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 bam. Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
And we welcome you back. Fourth quarter about to get underway here in the 2025 U-18 Girls Nexus Championship presented by Osaka Hockey. USA Field Hockey's big tournament here at the Regional Training Center all week long. All the different age divisions, as we've watched earlier this week. U14's gold medal go to Athens, the U16 going to Paris. And who's going to capture this U18 gold medal right now with a 3-2 lead for Vancouver on top of Milan, thanks to Tess Hankins' goal with 3:05 to go in the third period alongside Brent Underwood. I am Matthew Hatfield. Brent, this has been a very entertaining back and forth battle here. Milan has had the edge in penalty corners. Vancouver still trying to get one, but they've got the lead right now. So if they can hold serve here down the stretch and keep Milan from regaining some of that momentum they had to begin the game, to end the first half, they should be in good shape and position to finish off the job.
For sure. However, I feel like Vancouver in that third quarter really maintained possession, really forced Milan to have to play the defensive game throughout that quarter. And eventually Vancouver finally broke through with that excellent goal from Hankins, as you said. That's probably great news for the coaching staff out at Cornell from the Max Field Hockey Watch List member. Did an excellent job with that goal. And I think that was finally just the reward from the amount of pressure Vancouver was pushing on that Milan team.
How about that going to Cornell? And we've talked about another one that's headed to Columbia, I think it is, in Gross. 4.0 GPA for one of the goalkeepers out here in Lewis. So we've got some brains out here, not just some athletic talents. We've got some smart cookies.
Hey, I think field hockey has some of the smartest teams. I would say that these players do know how to work it in the classroom and on the field. And it just goes to show from some of these bios that we've been able to see from these 4.0s, sometimes higher than 4.0 GPAs. These AP classes really tend to buff those GPAs up, but they're hard, and I understand why.
And it's Vancouver right now working the far sideline here with this 3-2 lead. I don't want to leave out Hankins, his teammate, wearing 115 from St. Louis, who's known as or regarded by one of the coaches as, quote, an elite attacker who has a keen knack for the back of the net, end quote, and that's Lily Oliver going to Harvard. So you got Cornell and Harvard right there. That's a nice tandem for Coach Paquin here in Vancouver, trying to keep possession and prevent Milan from having a chance at knotting this up at 3 apiece here. Don't forget we have the bronze medal match coming up after this one. St. Louis and Paris, both of whom fell short against these two teams, will battle it out to try to get the third place finish in this event on this very steamy Friday in July.
Yeah, and what are the odds? 3 Ivy League institutions all on one team.
Yeah, that's well, they always talk about having a high IQ out there and using that to your advantage in competition. I think those players know how to do it, and as they continue to advance in this sport, only great things await them. And right now, Milan's hoping for a great finish. They need to get back on the other side of 50. They're going to try to do so here with a couple of subs coming in for Vancouver. One running into your screen, and Elise Spreen for them, but you see the pressure. I haven't seen as many double teams, Brent, in this match as maybe the last couple of age divisions we've done here on our live stream, but the timing of it is just being timely with it. You don't want to get over aggressive in doing it, but if you know there's a right chance to get yourself possession and maybe a 2-on-1 or a chance with a shot on goal, you seize it, right?
Yeah, I would say the lack of, or the lesson of 2v1s would probably be from the double teams, as you said, but it would just probably be from the pace of the ball. These players know how to not hold on the ball for too long to allow those double teams to occur, be able to receive the ball, look up, send it to the next play, find those 2v1s in order to limit the amount of double teams and sort of swarmed pressure that could occur if you're keeping the ball just for a tad too long.
As Uvito chipped it ahead now, Milan with possession just inside the 50. They work it with under 11 minutes to go in regulation play. And right there with the intercept, waiting for it, it's Vancouver. Trying to make a pass is Camilla Lutt, one of the standouts for WC Eagles we watched earlier this summer.
Yeah, Camilla Lutt, a member of that U-16 junior national team, is also a member of the U.S. indoor national team. So little lesser known, but that indoor national team making it to the Indoor World Cup this year with their highest ever finish at the World Cup, making 7th place, and Camilla a part of that roster.
Two is the lead for Vancouver, which trailed 1-0 early on, but they did not stay down for long because Sarah Netzberger was able to tie the score at 1 apiece, literally a minute and 36 seconds after that opening goal from Anna Arnold, a little more than midway through the opening stanza, as it is Vancouver on the move. Here they come again with Elise Breen. Thought about a give and go there, just couldn't maintain it with Milan's pressure with 2 defenders in the way of Sarah Netzberger. They work it in the shooter circle here, and then going airborne above the net was number 124 and Caitlin Paul, the Lansdale, Pennsylvania product. We do have a player who hit the turf pretty tough there a moment ago, but she's able to pop back up. Good to see. And speaking of the turf, the Astro turf surface has been a joy for so many competitors and athletes here in Virginia Beach, and since 1965, that brand has been driven by forward-thinking ingenuity. Today, AstroTurf continues to improve its system design to deliver playing surfaces with the most realistic, sports-specific performance, longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. AstroTurf.
And also a stipulation for the Nexus Championships with that card that was played. You might have seen Tess Hankins come in for that player who got carded for the Nexus Championships, as this is a selection tournament, evaluation tournament. These teams will not play with a player down if a player gets carded. So the coaches for those teams, in this case for Vancouver, Coach Paquin will be able to put another player on to replace that player that got carded.
Good to know, as Milan will get its first corner of the quarter. And if I'm not mistaken, Brent, I think this is the first penalty corner of the half. I don't think we've had one yet in this half until now.
Yeah, you're right on that.
So here we go, Milan. We'll see if they can, you see in the screen there, 118 waiting, Annie Lee. Here's a toss right in front of Lee. And going off balance, looked like that was deflected. Shot was by, I believe, Isabella Blunda. Could be mistaken on that, but that's what it looked like from my angle there, Bren.
Yeah, and more prominently, just a great defensive effort from Caitlin Paul as the trail on that defensive corner, stepping up to that shot, getting her reverse stick out, and getting just enough of a touch on it to send that ball out wide.
And how about Caitlin Paul doing it not once but twice? Because right as you were describing what she did, she basically took her stick and used the length of it to keep a pass being connected on for Milan, as Milan's working it around the perimeter here. Shannon Bach has it now in that corner area where they are pretty much tied up. Elise Breen getting in the way. And with just over 7 minutes to go, we see the defensive alignment and attention to detail working for Vancouver as they're trying to protect this 3-2 lead here and doing a splendid job. It's not so much that Milan's making a mistake here. We're just seeing some great execution as they go airborne for that pass. And then hooked up ahead. Getting to it, though, for Milan, it's Isabella Blunda again. Blunda over to Annie Lee, and then Lee has it knocked away. Quickness there of Elise Breen, who's been a little bit of an X factor in this second half, though she hasn't been directly in on a score like Hankins or Arnold or Netzberger or Weinstein. She's making things happen for her team.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to those players who set other people up for success. They're sort of the unsung heroes of the team, not always getting on the score sheet, but are the people that make those scores happen for the people that do get on those sheets.
And after two splendid defensive plays, Caitlin Paul splits the double team and then has the possession halted. Yet Vancouver's doing a nice job of milking some clock here with just over 6 minutes to go, and Milan not wanting to get over anxious here and force something, but they do know that the time is ticking down to a point where they have to step through if they want to extend this thing. Double team comes on Annie Lee. And a good job there with one of those double teamers being Finley Katz.
Yes, a little bit of a shift that we're seeing within this last couple of minutes in this quarter. It's a bit more individual skill for Milan, trying to just get the ball down the field on their own, using their midfielders with, say, varying degrees of success. I think it's important in these games to still continue to utilize the entirety of your team to be able to get the ball down the field together. As you know, even though it's 100 meters, that's about like I'd say 20-second sprint. Doing that a lot of times in one game certainly going to be tiring for you as a player, and then you're not going to be able to help your team nearly as much as you would if you save that energy.
And Netzberger had it for a brief moment. There's a crossover removed. Nice job by Annie Lee. Over there's Tess Hankins for Vancouver. Hitting it up ahead, and it's a chance to be one-on-one with the keeper for Vancouver. Charlotte Weinstein curls it back in. Here she is trying to maneuver past another defender and then just loses control of it out of bounds. But there was a hold your breath moment if you're Milan, because if this becomes 4-2 as opposed to 3-2 with the time being what is under 5 minutes to go, your chances of capturing the gold medal really become a lot slimmer.
For sure, especially with just so few minutes left. That was a great defensive effort from Milan to get numbers behind the breakaway from Weinstein in that situation. And a great touch from, I believe, Shannon Bach on defense to just sort of dispossess Weinstein enough in order to get that ball over the end line off of Weinstein, and then a free hit out from Milan.
Just under 4 minutes to go in this one. It's been a really fierce battle between two worthy championship level teams, both at 3-0-1 coming in, Vancouver and Milan. Vancouver in the white unis, Milan in the red, and Vancouver's got possession along the far sideline. And that one's going to be intercepted by Milan. Let us know who you're watching, who you're pulling for on the comments section on our Cova Sports TV YouTube channel. And again, hit that like button, the share button, the subscribe button. When you hit subscribe, you'll get notified when we go live with all kinds of various things, live sporting events, podcasts, and so much more. And make sure you check out usafieldhockey.com and all the social channels for more as you watch all these young ladies grow the game. You see that signage right there behind them on the fence area. Here's a chance for Milan on the move with Ava Ewing. Added into the shooter circle area, but once again, someone coming through, and that was Anna Reeser for Vancouver. Bryn, we talked about Reeser. That's going to Old Dominion, which has a rich tradition in field hockey out of Trinity Episcopal, the 2026 talent from Midlothian, Virginia, who's making some timely plays for her team, as is Nadia Gross, as those two have been influential in their success today.
For sure. I think ODU is going to be very pleased with how Reeser has been playing in this game. On what would have been a really strong opportunity for Milan, she just had that stick in that low block tackle, got low, shifted her weight forward and threw the ball, didn't just plant and put her stick down, but got through the ball on that play and made the tackle.
Camilla Lutt showing some open field ability as Vancouver's able to shift the field position again with just a little more than 2 minutes to go in this one. If they keep it then on this end, it will prevent Milan from having any chance whatsoever of knotting things up at 3-all as we are ticking down the time in this gold medal match. Chance to tell you that Vault Athletics and Fitness is Hampton Roads' 13,000 square foot facility where lots of excitement happens. Located in the hilltop section of Virginia Beach, they specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. The top field hockey and lacrosse specific training in the Hampton Roads area for all ages and skill levels too. Vault Athletics and Fitness, and you can find them on the web as well with Vault Athletics and Fitness. Give them a follow on Facebook and check out vaultathleticsandfitness.com for more. As right now, we're going to see a corner coming up. And Bryn, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first one for Vancouver this entire half.
I think you're right in that sentiment. I think it was a really great heads-up play from Camilla Lute in that situation. Got the ball on the baseline, low, which would have been a low-angle shot for her. She was able to receive the ball, look up, saw that the defender was coming in low, and was able to get that foot of the defender in order to earn a penalty corner.
So here it is, put in. And now Caitlin Paul had it, and the pass there just away from the target, but the time continues to tick and gives them an advantage here with 30 seconds to go in a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, this gives space for probably one more offensive push from Milan to get something up the field, potentially for a shot on goal.
Milan with 17 ticks to go. Who can they find? Looking for Leilani Stewart. That one's going to get booted away by the keeper with the right foot. Down to 7 seconds. And there is going to be a whistle.
Looks like the ball didn't travel 5 meters before entering the circle on that play.
And Vancouver able to rally from the early 1-goal deficit. And now they are celebrating a 3-2 come from behind win here. The go-ahead and eventual game-winning goal scored by Tess Hankins with 3:05 to go in the third. And while we had 3 goals in a span of 4 minutes and 10 seconds in the opening frame, it was a scoreless final stanza here as they're able to win it here at the Regional Training Center. First goal of the game was scored by Anna Arnold. She had a goal scored by one of her teammates for Milan and Alexandra Agostini, but the job is a good one for Vancouver thanks to Tess Hankins' goal, along with Charlotte Weinstein scoring and Sarah Netzberger. Those 3 helping them get it done to finish up 4-0-1, while Milan will close out at 3-1-1. Pretty entertaining game, and we've got one more to go, Bryn.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So for our entire team, from Nick Senti and Cena Shannon, Jack Lowe, and Killa Hodge, our producer-engineer, and my partner, Brent Underwood, this is Matthew Hatfield saying thank you so much for watching on Cova Sports TV. Keep it tuned for more USA Field Hockey action as we have the bronze medal match with St. Louis and Paris coming your way shortly from the RTC, the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. We'll chat with you in a bit right here on Cova Sports TV.
Kova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit kovapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
From credentials to luggage tags, even time standards tags for competitive swimmers, Bag Tags creates durable and distinct functional sporting events tags that are not only used as a security measure, but are also treasured keepsakes, marking special moments and milestones in an athlete's competitive career. Bag Tag services some of the most notable sporting events across the country. Fully customizable, totally unique, and made in the USA. Visit bagtagsinc.com today.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here!
We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
well, now, we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in a phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never-frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
Get ready for the concert event of the summer.
On the road again.
Catch Willie Nelson and family. Bob Dylan. Turnpike Troubadours. And more at the Outlaw Music Festival's 10th anniversary tour, July 29th. Veterans United Home Loans Amphitheater at Virginia Beach. Get access to preferred tickets with your Citi card. For tickets and more, go to livenation.com and outlawmusicfestival.com.
I grew up here. I know this town.